Hi, friends. Welcome back. This is Rebecca Stewart with Cheering Past Challenges, and today I'm going to be discussing the 10 signs of psychosis. Have you had psychosis, or have you known or loved somebody that has had psychosis? If you're not quite sure, here are the 10 signs to know that someone is about to enter into psychosis or they are into psychosis. Now, as a disclaimer, I'm not a doctor or a medical professional. This is just my thoughts, feelings, and emotions from my personal experience. Okay, so let's get started. Number one sign is they stop sleeping. Doesn't matter if they take sleeping pills or, they might try extra exercise, but no matter what, the sleeping cannot be either started or maintained. And that is usually the first sign. And whenever my mom used to get this sign, she always would get fearful, like, oh, is it coming? So that was number one, the first sign. The second sign is they isolate themselves from other people, their friends, their family. They just become more isolated. And that is usually an indication that psychosis may be around the corner. The third sign is that the house gets messy. Wherever they are at, they just are not organized, and their thoughts are also getting to be disorganized. A lot of times, our environment shows what our inner thoughts are. I know for me, when I'm feeling stressed out or I haven't had a lot of time for myself or for self care, dishes will pile up and I won't have time to make my bed or do routines that I normally do. But for a person that suffers from psychosis, things will get dramatically messy. It just happens. Number 4, they stop doing what they love. For my mom, it was shopping. She always had time to shop. She was always looking for sales and things to buy. But if that stopped, something was wrong. So just pay attention to that if you have a loved one that normally loves to exercise and they stop going to the gym, or they have a hobby, but they just declare that they're done with that, or they don't even say it, they just stop doing it. That can be an indication that they're getting sick. Number 5, an unusual but often common thing to go with having psychosis is obsessing over sexual things. For my mom, it was just inappropriate comments, things about orgasms or sexual experiences that would just come up and be repeated over and over again. So, if that's happening, that could be an indication that psychosis is around the corner. Number 6, they may disrobe or streak. Yeah, so at least for my mom, this was a sign. If she lost her clothes, she's probably losing her mind. Number 7, they may adopt a mentality that you are out to get them, or that you have maybe stolen some money from them. Some sort of negative thing is happening, or a negative scenario that they're telling themselves about a loved one. If that's happening, that may be an indication that psychosis is coming. Okay, number 8 is obvious but has to be stated. They stop taking their meds. If they have a bubble pack and you are checking up on their meds and you notice that some of them haven't been taken, that can be an indication that they're getting sick. And I hate to say this, but I have to. Some people that suffer from schizophrenia will stay on their meds, but they will still get sick. So it's just obvious that if they stop taking their meds, they're more than likely going to get sick. Number 9, they stop eating. This is kind of a later phase when they've entered into psychosis. They're not interested in eating anymore. They don't feel hungry. They may need to be put on an IV, or they might just eat very little. That's normal. And the last sign of somebody going into psychosis, number 10, is they go off into another world. They are no longer in this world with us. My mom would talk to radios, TVs. She would even have make believe conversations with celebrities. So think of your most bizarre dream. I know for me, sometimes I have a dream that I'm married to Brad Pitt or something like that. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh, that was just a dream. But for them, it's really their reality. So that can be the last sign that they are just no longer here on this earth with us. It's like they're still, you see their body, but it's not them underneath that body. Sometimes they can get really, they don't get violent, but they get animated. And so for my mom, I could almost see it in her eyes, like her eyes would get big like saucers, and she would kind of rhyme and say like the same statements over and over again, like periwinkle, periwinkle, the dog blue. And it would be like, what is she talking about? So that's psychosis. It's just almost like Tourette's in that they have no control over what they're saying, and it does not make any sense to the rest of us. So, thank you for listening. I hope that this helped you determine if your loved one is entering into psychosis. Please comment below if you like this content and if you'd like to see more of it. Thanks so much, and God bless.